Katt didn't stop there. No, this was just the beginning. Over the years, Katt Williams has become known for his sharp tongue, dropping names and making claims about the entertainment industry that left people either laughing or scratching their heads. Comedians like Tyler Perry, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Ludacris, names that on the surface seemed like the usual comedic shade. But what if I told you that Katt's seemingly random jabs were actually planting seeds for a much bigger story? A story that links some of the most famous celebrities in Hollywood to none other than Diddy and a massive federal scandal. Hold on tight, because we're about to connect the dots between comedy conspiracy and a secret world that's been hidden from the public for years. It was a September like no other when Diddy's arrest rocked the headlines. But what happened next, no one could have predicted. Enter Katt Williams, the comedian who never shies away from controversy. He took to Instagram stories resharing an AI mashup of Diddy's mugshot alongside Wesley Snipes from New Jack City and captioned it with something bold, "Diddy about to snitch on everybody." That comment alone exploded online, sparking one of the most talked about viral moments of the year. Fans, conspiracy theorists, and media outlets were buzzing with the same thought. If anyone's going to flip to save themselves, it's going to be Diddy.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying... Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. T.G. Jakes, any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
So Katt Williams said it. The lawsuit started coming out right after he said it, and he said all would be exposed. He heavily implied, and this is again an allegation, that Lucien Grange was having some sort of a homosexual relationship with Diddy. So he is the person that controls Diddy, that Lucien Grange was aware of these parties, that Universal Music Group was aware of these parties. Essentially, that Diddy is the thug and the gangster working on behalf of Lucien Grange. They did not know that he was recording them. I mean, when I read through that lawsuit, Rodney made it very clear that he had hidden cameras. And if you are a person like LeBron who says ain't no party like a Diddy party, you've got Ashton Kutcher talking about what happens at Diddy parties stays at Diddy parties. And finally you learn via the press that actually Diddy has been collecting evidence on all of you, and you don't know where those tapes are. That will buy your silence for quite some time, because you're hoping that if you keep your head low, you're not going to be revealed as one of these people that was engaged in some of these acts, whether they were heterosexual or homosexual, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just cheating on your wife and you don't want that to get out into the public. Maybe you were, as Katt Williams described it, in one of the rooms. He said you could just walk around the house. He said this on stage years ago, that you could walk around the house and you would see people engaged in various sex acts. And again, Katt Williams was someone who was dismissed as crazy and dismissed as a drug addict. And it turned out that, or it seems that if these allegations are proven to be true, and I believe they are, then he was telling the truth.
Do you think that like stars and get offered that kind of thing, like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment?
I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. You follow what I'm saying?
That they'll figure out some way.
Right, so I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing but bitches and good business, right? In these scary situations, I don't even leave it up to me. Like, I'm gonna do what the superhero would do in this part of the movie, regardless.
That's a good way to think about things in general.
Yeah.
What would the superhero do right now?
Let's start with Katt Williams' past. The comedian has been known for his bold and brash humor, but over the years, something else began to emerge in his routines. Clues. Katt wasn't just making jokes for the sake of comedy. He was using his platform to hint at a darker, more complex network behind the scenes. You see, Katt Williams dropped names. Tyler Perry, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, and Ludacris were all regular targets in his stand-up. But as time went on, these names started showing up in real-world documents. Documents linked directly to Diddy's ongoing legal battles. At first, it seemed like just petty shade. But the more we look, the more we realize these weren't just jabs. Katt Williams was planting clues, hinting at a web of connections that few people understood at the time. And the most shocking part, some of those names Katt mentioned, names that were dismissed as nothing more than comedic fodder, are now at the heart of a federal scandal.
I heard that you bought a military base in Alabama. Is that true? A military base?
As starving comedians would do.
Now, I don't know if you're being truthful or not. Did you really buy one?
Yeah, Fort McClellan. Yeah,
What?
because the reason why like my life works in golf and off the golf course is because I follow instruction well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I see somebody do a good job, I just want to do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow the example.
Yeah.
Right? So Tyler Perry got a military base.
That's correct.
Made it into a movie studio and started making movies. Katt Williams.
Bought a military base. Are you making movies?
I'm not wearing dresses. Yeah, making movies.
You're missing the point. At what point in Tyler Perry's career was he Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel Washington? Which are the only two black men I can think of that never had a dress on.
Yeah, but I don't think it's about
At what point? It is about that. It is about that because he's the only black man that we already established has $1 billion for making movies. He's the only black man with his own studio. But he's also putting out material where he got a goddamn dress on every year.
Because
every time you turn around, at every iteration of his success, be it the plays that took over and got him popular, be it the shit that he did on TBS, be it the first movies that he did, be it the movies that he does now. So what is his excuse for doing Madea content now?
Because there's an audience for it.
There's an audience for it.
There is an
There's an audience for it.
Tyler Perry told his male actors they're not allowed to consort with me because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler. And you were having a glorious time. I spent a lot of time in Miami and I snuck around Star Island quite a bit. I know Christian isn't lying, but I need him to tell me what happened to my friends. And I don't care how long it's been since I talked to them. They will always be my friends. Always. Tim and Durrett and Lamont Rucker were not the same after they went on camera with Tyler Perry. Christian, I think you can tell me why.
But it gets worse. These tapes weren't just about sex acts. They were about control. Whether you were cheating on your spouse or participating in something far darker, Diddy allegedly had the power to destroy careers with the push of a button. And if you wanted to stay in the game, you had no choice but to keep your head down and follow the rules. This is where the story gets truly sinister. Diddy's influence was widespread, not just in music, but across Hollywood. And as Katt Williams hinted years ago, there was more at play than just a few shady Hollywood figures. This was a network that reached far and wide, pulling in the most unlikely of allies. As the legal drama surrounding Diddy unfolded, a shocking truth began to emerge. Diddy wasn't just a mogul, he was a master manipulator. The so-called freak-off parties became infamous in the media, but few understood just how deep they ran. Diddy, it turns out, wasn't just throwing lavish parties, he was using them as a tool for control. But what made these parties different from any other Hollywood gathering? For one, they were invite-only, and for another, Diddy allegedly used hidden cameras to collect compromising footage of the celebrities who attended. What was Diddy doing with this footage? Well, according to Katt Williams and numerous sources, he wasn't just keeping it for his own pleasure. He was using it as leverage, ensuring the silence of the stars who were involved. They were trapped silent by fear of what might be exposed.
You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was...
Sir, no one, why no? He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? And Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did, it's in my contract. That's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did, it's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
And it wasn't just about business. Katt Williams made it clear that Tyler Perry's success wasn't just built on hard work. It was built on the very system that Diddy had created, a system that rewarded loyalty and compliance. Now, Tyler Perry may never openly admit to this, but the connections are there, from Diary of a Mad Black Woman to Medea's family reunion. It's clear that Diddy's influence was part of Perry's launch pad, but Perry wasn't the only one with a strange connection to Diddy. Let's talk about Ricky Smiley. One of the most unexpected names to pop up in the conversation is Tyler Perry. The beloved filmmaker, known for his Medea series, has often been the subject of Katt Williams' jokes. On the surface, it seemed like Katt was simply poking fun at Perry's frequent costume choices, but Katt's words were far from trivial. You see, when Tyler Perry first began making waves in Hollywood, it wasn't just his talent that got him noticed, it was his connection to Diddy. According to Katt and several reports, Diddy's team helped fund Perry's early projects. They helped arrange premieres in Los Angeles and New York, and invited stars to get a first look at Perry's works. These weren't just casual business deals, they were strategic moves to help Perry rise to fame.
But when you reported a long time ago that Jamie, that he mysteriously got sick,
it was serious, and we said that allegedly it was Diddy. But how do you
But when you reported that back then months ago, did you say what was that in your reporting?
Yeah, they were saying that Diddy, because Diddy and Jamie Foxx were good friends, and they broke up. I mean, they stopped being friends, and they no, Gary, not doing that. No, not doing that. What they said.
What's that?
They that wait.
They that wait on the Lord. All right, y'all, we're gonna wrap up the house.
I Googled you to see what are the questions that people are wanting to know. Is Ricky Smiley married?
No.
Have you ever been married?
I was married.
Oh, you were?
I was married for 12 years.
When?
Then I was married back.
Did I know you?
Back in the 90s. I think we probably had met and had been around each other, but my ex-wife, we are still close. She's a flight attendant for Delta.
Oh, okay.
And we was married. We was young, and I was married for 12 years.
Wow.
I had a beautiful. She's beautiful.
And y'all broke up after 12 years because
You gotta start doing Honey Beauty. The streets start eating.
Oh no!
But what's truly shocking is how Katt Williams describes Smiley's rise to stardom. Katt alleges that Smiley's career was built on compromise, specifically the willingness to put on a dress for Hollywood roles. And Katt wasn't the only one to notice this. He put it in writing, stating that he wouldn't work with Smiley again unless he was wearing a dress. It's a chilling thought how much of Hollywood's success is built on personal compromises, and how many stars like Ricky Smiley are forced to play by the rules of Diddy's empire in order to succeed. Ricky Smiley, the comedian and radio personality, has long been a fixture in the entertainment world. But how did he rise to fame? Was it just his talent and hard work? According to Katt Williams, there's much more to the story. Ricky Smiley allegedly got his start through Diddy's private Atlanta parties, exclusive gatherings that were by invitation only. It was at these parties that Smiley reportedly made the connections that would propel him into the spotlight. From there, Smiley reportedly worked his way into radio gigs and eventually a hit TV show.
F Comedy Jam 25. It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Katt Williams gonna show up?
Shit, I'm nervous as hell right now.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh, he's right there.
There he is.
I didn't know he was right there, nigga. I would not have said that if I had seen right. Yeah! I'm not used to quiet, introspective Katt Williams.
No. Well, let me ask you this. When have you ever seen this many heavy hitters all together at the same time? Yeah, in the same room. Yeah. That's right.
The term Illuminati often gets thrown around in conspiracy circles, but when Katt Williams talks about it, there's more weight behind the words. According to Katt, only an organization with that much power could land someone like Ludacris a $200 million contract. It sounds like something straight out of a spy thriller. But Katt's words paint a much darker picture. Ludacris's meteoric rise in Hollywood wasn't just a result of his talent. According to Katt, it was all about making deals with the right people in the right rooms. And at the center of it all was Diddy. The connections between Diddy and Ludacris aren't just coincidental. They're part of a larger, darker power structure that few have the courage to speak about.
Wait, let's get off. TD Jakes is on that list.
On that list.
And, you know, Katt Williams, I don't know if he's a Christian or not. I don't think he is. His mouth would say maybe he's maybe has faith, but he's bearing fruits of repentance. But that podcast got, well over millions and millions of views because he just blasted the industry. And basically the whole thing is your career's here. If we give you money and you join in on this debauchery, you join in on this sodomy, you join in on this pedophilia, you join in on these rituals, your career will go from here to here. And that's actually been seen if you look at a lot of different careers, including Taylor Swift's. She actually started rubbing shoulders with P. Diddy a long time ago, and then all of a sudden her career changed.
Now, we also know that TD Jakes is allegedly also a power bottom. And he's a much older man. And they say he's very enthusiastic in his endeavors. What happens when he pops something loose? You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because they're mentioning sex workers, but they're not mentioning women. They're mentioning men as sex workers.
Yeah.
Like is that a thing where like there's a website of what? It's just wild to hear like you mentioned.
You never heard of Grindr?
I personally am not. That is what.
Why don't nobody ever talk about the fact that TD Cakes has an account allegedly on Grindr?
And he said he turned down $50 million 4 times.
No, he didn't.
To protect his integrity and his virgin hole.
No, he didn't. He did that. He did that to say that Kevin Hart took $50 million to unvirgin his hole.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, I just told you what happened with that.
So you don't believe Katt when he says that he turned down $50 million 4
No,
times?
I believe that was a punch at what he did, what Kevin Hart did for that movie Get Hard. He showed y'all what he did. He sucked Will Ferrell's to get hard. So now he's high. Now he's acting all hard. Every picture he's just short. He wasn't ready. All that. It's the same thing.
I said it, and this sums it up well. Like you don't entertain the circus, you watch it, right? And when a lion comes out and rides the bike, you don't think about it too hard. You just go, okay, that's crazy. The lion's riding a bike, and then you go home and enjoy the rest of your day. I don't feed into the stuff at all. At the end of the day, it's all entertainment to a certain degree. So you just hope that people can be smart enough and have a tremendous amount of logic to just go and possibly do research or fact check. And if they do, then great. If they don't, then kudos to that as well. I just don't have the time for it. There's too much going on.
In my opinion, one of the ones that affects me the most is Justin Bieber.
Do you have the Kevin Hart one?
Which is odd, Pat, because he gets caught saying that he would wake up next to him and then he changes it and says we would fight off over the Frosted Flakes. Even Kevin Hart is uncomfortable because you're admitting that you were sleeping next to a freaking child. And it's like, I'm tired of hearing all these stories and people just laugh about it. We giggle. Like, this is it right here.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause.
Look, pause.
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was
10 years
a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted
Wake
Flakes.
up, Taylor Usher.
He used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this for me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
Are you related to Luda?
No, so we were both invited to an Illuminati thing. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person they said was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it.
How much money they give? 200?
Sir, Fast and Furious is on what number right
10.
now?
Did you start to worry any about your own safety and stuff?
Well, what it was that I was attempting to do was impossible. So before I do this interview, there is no Illuminati. It's just a joke. It's just something that crazy people talk about. There's no such thing as our side and God's side. None of that is even real. I gotta come and make it real. So that's why when I said that, nobody came out and went, that's not true, I'm on God's side. If part of the ritual is wearing a dress, then we should be able to look through entertainment and see all of these people being made to wear a dress.
Yeah, you don't see the dog catcher show up every other year.
Like, it's not
in a nice skirt, or you don't see an electrician.
Right, so
come up in a blouse every now and then.
As the pieces of this puzzle start to come together, one thing is clear. Diddy's empire isn't just about music. It's about control. And as Katt Williams continues to reveal, Diddy's influence extends far beyond the world of hip-hop. From hidden parties to blackmail, from compromising tapes to career control. Diddy's network is vast, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. The celebrities involved may not have known the full extent of what they were signing up for, but as these revelations continue to unfold, we can only wonder who else will be exposed if you're as stunned bothered by these names as we are, don't forget to like this video. Drop your questions in the comments and hit subscribe for more updates on this ongoing story. The truth is only beginning to come out.
In a case like this, obviously you're not making any kind of a dynamic entry. This isn't a hostage situation, right? Where that's not what's happening here. However, they did know that there would be weapons there, armed security, those kinds of things. That's why you saw those warrants being served by, for the most part, a tactical SWAT team. Simply, that is procedure to keep everyone safe. A lot of people were frustrated when they saw the video that came out of the warrant, that his home was, in, I guess, disarray. But again, and I had said this before, my gut said they were looking for digital evidence, which is in that indictment. There's a lot of mentions to digital evidence. And that's why they tore up couch cushions. That's why they made holes in walls. They were looking for flash drives, tiny devices where these things were stored. And so all of that is done methodically. It's all cataloged. And in a case like this, where you're not necessarily rushing, to put out a fire or something like that, it was all done in a very methodical way. You typically go through room by room to catalog all of that evidence.